It's everywhere. Morning, peeps.
Hey James,
How, where are you calling in from today, guys?
sunny Sydney.
Fire up the screen.
Beautiful Washington State.
Washington State. I bet it's cold,
Rainy.
rainy. Sunny, bloody Queensland. Should I share my screen? Get this for you. If you if you've never come to any of my workshops, then they're pretty raw. I do basically everything in front of you. So there's Google Docs, which I'll drop here. Of course, nowadays we have a platform. There's going to be a little less Google Docy action, but as always, I will always teach you the fundamentals. I don't want to just give people the thing, the tool, the tactic, or the strategy. I want people to understand why I do the things I do, and I give them to you, and you do the things you do, so you can do them yourself. Because good coaching is not codependence. So I'll always teach you the principles behind it, so you can build these things yourself. So I'll just grab the. Did I already do that? Grab that for you. So technology changes everything eventually, and technology's funny because everything seems to happen all at once, but it's usually been happening for a long time. So that's, as most things, quite shocking for people when they don't see things underneath the surface. And technology does one thing very, very well, and that's efficiency. Automation allows us to perform the same action, the same task. We can send, the same email to 50 people on the same day without pushing the button. And social media allowed us to reach almost anyone without, going around knocking on every door. And 13 years ago, that's exactly how I got my first 1,000 customers. I knocked on, about 50,000 doors. And I'm very thankful for that journey, but I'm also very thankful for that I don't have to do that anymore. And for people who help other people, which is me, which is probably you, technology has allowed us to reach more people more efficiently, faster, and cheaper than ever. And that's a lot of different dimensions. That's a lot of things all happening at once. And the latest technology allows us to do all of those things all at once. And talking about AI kind of generally isn't particularly helpful. And the internet is full of people arguing about the best model or the newest thing. The newest model, there's a 4.1 and now there's a 4.2, but now those guys are up to 5.3. And it's mostly irrelevant. It's about not about the best model, it's about the best process to apply it to, right? And when we build an efficient, profitable solo business that we're, responsible for basically everything that happens inside it, there's three core dimensions. There's serving clients, there's selling to clients, and there's attracting clients. And AI can do all three, often simultaneously. And before AI came along, the only thing that was kind of comparable is probably live workshops where we could actually serve someone, sell to someone, and do everything all at once. But again, we were limited by efficiency because we had to show up. We could ask other people to show up a particular time. And all AI can do all of these things at once simultaneously without us, right? On average, about 113 people speak to me every day inside Solo OS. I can't speak to 113 people a day. I don't want to. But they get answers or approximate answers or things that they need on their terms at their time, right? And agents deploy AI into the solar universe. So I'm going to use the terminology of agents today and give you some definitions for that before we build yours. And AI agents come in multiple categories. And this is useful now to frame these things as wherever you are in the AI kind of universe, the evolution of things is moving very quickly. And framing and categorizing these things so you know where to focus is really useful. The only three that are relevant to us right now are task agents. So you ask it to do one specific thing and get a specific result. There's consulting agents. Talk to it, ask it anything, and get an answer, and you can keep talking to it as well. And agentic agents. So ask it to run a complete process and it does it end to end. And there is a fourth, and there's going to be a fourth, which is agentic agents who talk to other agents and they run processes all together without you. And we are already there. And some of you might already be there as well if you've got various claws and bots running in different places in your life. And these are in ascending levels of complexity. And as always, we start with the fastest and simplest to execute because it doesn't matter what the theory is. The market and the feedback from helping people, from making sales, from generating results and generating profit, that's where all the magic happens. So we need to choose the fastest and simplest to execute and work up from there once use cases are provided. So if we put some meat on the bones, depending on how long you've been in my world and how long you've been a solo OS member, you'll be familiar with these. A task agent, an example of that is the hybrid offer printer. It really does 1/2 things. It creates you a new offer, or it reviews a current offer and makes you a new one if you want it, right? It's there for a specific task. If you need an offer or your current offer reviewed, you go and use that tool, right? You go and use that agent. A consulting agent is virtual JK. You can ask it basically anything you want. And it even knows things that we haven't even trained it on because it's web connected and it can go off and research and find things and actually talk to you. So virtual JK in my world makes up about 40% of the usage as people have conversations with it. But a consulting agent can also tell people to go and use a task agent to get something done and get something specific out of it. And then there's agentic agent. So we're piloting and testing these with a few people who have licensed our platform. Agentic agents will actually do things, right? It will build campaigns, it will run ads, it will actually do things and run a process for you, with you, and also without you, right? So nowadays we have the ability to go and get an agent to build ads, go and run them, work out what's profitable to scale it, come back, kill the losers, make more ads that are like the winners and do that. But you didn't do any of that because the agent did it, right? And so thinking about it in these buckets helps you focus on not like, hey, Claude, blah, 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 and ChatGPT, rah, rah, rah is out. It's like, what process do I need to help someone with? What process am I running in my business? And what actual piece needs to be solved for? And what agent can actually do it? So task agents are provided to clients as part of our platform. Every single client who's paying me anywhere from $58 to $1,500 a week has access to the agents, right? So task agents are provided to every single client because they speed up execution. The way that we sell these is we offer test drives of our agent or our agents to prospects, invite those prospects to become customers, and then upgrade those people to become clients if they want more access, go faster, however we bundle those things in our program and our premium offerings. Agents are very, very powerful because they can serve, sell, and attract all at once. The very same agent that some of you are using today to help with your business has also got 10 people signing up to that today to get a test drive. And on average, 3 of those people become customers for me, all automatically, right? So an agent can really sit across our business these days and serve customers, serve clients, and also be used as a very, very powerful acquisition and attraction mechanism as well. And this is pretty, this is pretty different, right? And honestly, it's kind of weird to serve the number of people that I do today. Previously, I would have had to run about 10 workshops a week and be on here all the time. But all of these things and the level of depth of both attracting, acquiring, selling, and delivering to customers can be done with agents. And then we can layer over the personal and the elements like this over the top of that. And with an agent, we are being paid to serve, sell, and attract with one tool, right? We run a test drive, we offer access to our platform, we give people the deliverables that are at that particular level. So to put some meat on the bones, and I've always been super transparent about what I'm doing and how I run my business, sometimes to my own detriment. That is my business model, right? That on average generates just over $50,000 a week across the board because I give people test drives, I give people demos. I say, do you want to become a Solo OS member? Do you want to join the Sovereign Society? Do you want to join the Sovereign Society plus license the platform? Those are my deliverables. I give people courses, I give people tools, I hold workshops, I hold 2 weekly group calls for my clients. With our licensing, we have done for you services over and above them, which install our playbooks. And I do one-to-one consulting around that to help people use those tools, use the licenses, and execute the strategy how they need to, right? And I'm going to show you why and how there are different variations of how we can run a test drive. And here's an example of what that looks like, again, in the real world. I sell come here, get an offer. I'll help you build an offer in the next 24 hours for $1. That person gets a 15-day test drive. On average, 1 in 4 of those people become a member. And if they become an annual member, I have deliverables where I have a call with them. They come into the society and they get a year's worth of Solo OS as well. So the agent that I'm talking about and referring to is present in all of those places. So that's kind of the big 1,000-foot view, and zooming in to put some practical things, and I'll put some more meat on the bones as we go. But today we're going to build you a task agent. So how we think about this, and I've taken a few of you over the last week through this privately to kind of get a sense of how to think about it and what to do with these. Pick a task you are either known for or is useful and digestible to the market. So use an existing mechanism or a process that you already run with clients. For example, I connected with Mo this week and we built one around, Mo has on-camera presence. He teaches people how to use video to, attract and nurture and sell within his audience. And his clients every week ask him, what video should I make this week? And so we built a little tool that answers that question. And you've got a question that your clients ask you regularly, semi-regularly, it could be hourly or it could be daily. Like, how do I do this? What do I think about it? That is present in your world. And if you don't, there's a question that your marketplace or a task that your marketplace and your audience probably have as well. So we define a simple outcome for your task agent. We make it clear to the user that if they use this agent, they will get this result. And I've started with task agents because they're the most simple thing. There are does what it says on the tin, product. And if you have a product and you have something that that you want people to use, it needs to be very clear what it does at every level. Clear what it does if I'm a client, because this is the video topic chooser or the video title picker. And clear to a marketplace that if you go out there and market it and sell it, that someone can go, hey, that's the problem I'm dealing with right now, and I want that product. And when I say, everything's an offer, that makes us very efficient in building an ecosystem which is very easy to use, right? One of the kind of mistakes I've made along building courses and also building agents is being a bit too clever with some of the naming and the designation. Like in the classroom in SolOS, you'll see a training called The Authority. What the fuck does that do? Well, you don't really know that it helps you build a brand, right? And across 3 dimensions, because it's got a cute name and it's a dumb name and it didn't sell very well. And no one really watches it, even though it's in the top 3 trainings in the whole curriculum. So don't be cute. Don't be like me, right? So make it clear to the user if they use this, they'll get this result. And then create a prompt and upload the supporting material to the knowledge base. So normally I'd be like, hey, step by step, let's do this. But today we're actually going to do it inside SolOS because we've enabled guest agents. So if you, let me make this bigger. If you go to SolOS, in the top, you will see the best approximation of what is a little robot face. This is a little robot face. If you have a license, then you can see that you can create your own member agents. If you're just a regular user, then you'll see guest agents there. And you have to create a shared agent. I can create 999, you can create 1. So you click on this and you have the underpinnings or the backbone of creating an agent. And if you've used private GPTs or anything like that, you will understand some of this in terms of prompting and some of these phrases as we go through. I've stripped as much of that out as we can to make it as simple as possible for you to build an agent in a few minutes and actually deploy it. So I'm going to build an agent called the Facebook Post Maker. And if you're feeling frisky as well, you can give it a cool icon. So just, I don't even want to say this because it's meta on meta. We have built agents to help you build agents, right? So this is an agent that creates an icon for you to have an icon for your guest agent. I'm not going to do it because it's fun, but so you can do it later on your own. This will create Facebook. Is this, by the way, is it big enough on the screen?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll make it slightly bigger. So we've got a Facebook post maker and it creates a Facebook post today. In creating AI agents, we have something called a prompt. And a prompt essentially gives the agent instructions on how to behave. And prompts can be very short and they can also be very long. Some of the prompts that we have inside SolOS are topping out at like 3,000 to 4,000 words, right? As we tune them and create them. And some of them are very short and they benefit from that. So creating a prompt can be a really time-consuming thing and lots of trial and error. So we built an agent that creates the prompt for you. So you essentially talk to the agent and it goes through. And if it's stuck on anything, it just prompts you to talk to it. So write Facebook posts, coaches use it, and asking what topic triggers a knowledge base search. The agent will never use jargon or profanity. The style and sound will be casual and informal. Can you give me 2 to 3 example Q&A showing how this agent should respond? What type of post should I write today? Problem, pain, or philosophy? And then I would enter it. So if it's got any blockers, and you can be pretty vague, right? The way that that we've built this it assumes a lot of things that we know have to be there. So we've written most of the prompt for you just out of speed and accuracy. So here we have a set of system instructions. So to understand what's happening here, you have a knowledge base. And agents, generic agents have training data, and then they have a prompt, right? So generic agents will never be as accurate as specific agents because the knowledge base can be this general everything that it's ever trained on, whereas our agents can benefit from having specific knowledge that we upload. So the agents that we give you and the agents that I use, they check the knowledge base first. So they get my information first or your information first, right? If you ask ChatGPT what's the best funnel to build, it would go out there and look at 70 different types of funnel and eventually give you an answer. If you asked Virtual JK what funnel to build, it would give you a specific answer that was based on my advice, my knowledge, and my intellectual property. And it will remember the other things that you've done. Because inside our platform, we have memory. And so it knows who you are by your interactions with it in a very, very specific way. It remembers who you are, what offers you're making, what activities you're making, and it remembers who your clients are to improve the context of the answers that it gets back. So here you'll see some pieces. And out of the box, this agent is going to be good, right? But understanding each of the different pieces helps you make it great. And so your voice rules, right? You may use profanity a lot, and that's your style. And models like Claude don't particularly care about profanity, whereas ChatGPT does, and there's different constraints. I've said no profanity because we're writing social media posts, and social media posts with profanity don't tend to do very well, right? So we've got put some guardrails there. The coach, how do we use it? The response style. If you put response style here, you could start to tune it to sounding like you know, what they call your voice. So if you're a coach from Australia, you could get it to say mate all the time, right? You know, and other cliches like that. And the tools available, it will search the knowledge base, use for writing techniques, and go through. Then we insert the instructions. So just from you answering those 4 or 5 questions, you have a prompt. And the conversation starters are the setup that guide the actions of the person. And we not only have to prompt agents, we benefit from prompting clients. Because if you were just met with a blinking cursor on Virtual JK and you're like, I don't even know what to ask it, then it might be a bit of a painful experience. So I give you some pre-set up conversation starters to maybe guide you into what you want to ask it. Conversation starters, I want to write a promise post, not a promise, problem. I want to write a proof post. I want to write a philosophical post. And I'd put, I don't know what Facebook post to write today. Please help me. So I've got 4 conversation starters.
Hey, James, can you show
model.
them, sorry to interrupt, can you show them as well how to fine tune it, or do you want to do that later?
I'll get that later.
Okay.
Once we've got the semi-beast, you know,
Yeah.
we'll build Frankenstein's monster and then, you know, slowly attach arms and legs as we go.
All right.
So the default capabilities here we've set. You can set them on and off, but we recommend you just leave them live. And this is the meat and potatoes. So the knowledge base is what the agent looks at first. And you'll see that this agent is web connected, so it can go off and find answers and give you context if it wants. But we want to give it, you know, specific answers. So I have a training called the social code. And in the social code, I give tons and tons of frameworks and advice and plenty of examples on actual social media posts, right? So I would upload that to the message bait in the form of a, if I can find it, of course, never work with children and animals and live things. I'm just going to give it my book here. There we go. And so give it PDF files, give it text documents, and give it actual raw information that's going to help actually find the answer. So I'm going to start there.
If you click sync knowledge base, it'll load it into the context a little faster. Yeah.
Then you click sync knowledge base and it will load it into the context much faster. Work with smart people, guys.
It's all AI.
So now I have a Facebook post maker that I can talk to. Whoops. And down here, I can create a share link. I can James Kemp, Facebook post maker, and we can create a link. Again, we can have a little icon there. And if I click on that, I have a working agent. So I'll give you a brief rundown and we'll, over the next few weeks, we'll give you a lot more kind of hands-on help to do these pieces of like how they work. But right now, if I took that URL, you can go and visit that Facebook post maker, right? So you could go and share that with people. They can use it immediately. So if I sent it and you weren't logged into SoloOS, that's a public link. They can register as a guest as well, so they can actually use it. But now you have a usable bot. So I need to stop mixing up the terminology. You have a usable agent. I got to stop mixing up the terminology.
Can you paste the link into like an incognito where you're not signed in so they can see the anonymous landing page?
So that's what it looks like if you just sent it now, right? So we've got, if you want to save the conversation, you can sign up and log in, but someone could chat to that immediately. So you have the capability to do that today. If you go to your little robot in the top right-hand corner. But the key piece is not using this, for your own shits and giggles and benefit, internal benefit. It's actually, doing something with it. So the best place to start is by giving your agents to clients. And in my experience so far of doing it myself and watching other people, dozens and dozens of my clients do it, giving people agents that answer those common questions, every day and every week is super, super useful. Because you can give those to people today and over deliver on whatever you've promised before. And so you can be much more relevant and much more useful to them today. Then, of course, you're going to gather data and feedback on how they're using it. And you can, look at the results it's generating and also start to tune it over time. And we'll drop some trainings and some kind of roundtables on this as well and show you some of the people who are getting results with them and how they're setting those up. So you can just copy and paste those ideas. But the big, big, big opportunity is not just to use this agent as a client service tool, but also as an acquisition tool. Because once your agent starts doing a good job for clients, it's obvious that it can be used to generate customers and clients. And there is still a first mover advantage available to most. Most people in most markets outside internet marketing and dorky coders still think agents and AI are some kind of black magic, right? So if you've got clients and the less technical they are, the more impressed they are by these things, then giving them these things with a really easy to use interface is super valuable. And very few people have deployed tools to their markets. What I will say this categorically is tools are much, much, much more sticky to a 5 or 10x factor than any course or membership or training that you've ever made. I know this for a fact. Our retention and our churn has never been lower, and our acquisition has never been more easier, and our time on brand and our utilization has never been higher. 43% of SoloOS users use it every day, right? I've never had a membership or a course that had anything that kind of usage, and they're very, very sticky. They will also take market share. Again, I know this for a fact that when people start using your tools, they will stop using other people's ecosystems and environments because your tools can be faster, easier, more convenient than other people are delivering in more kind of traditional forms. So they are very, very sticky, and there is still a first mover, and I keep saying this, there's still a first mover advantage in a lot of categories to give clients agents and tools and consulting agents and eventually agentic agents that will both win you clients and market share, but also serve with a leverage that that will frankly blow your mind. So the way to get people signed up into your world is get them to use it. And it's nothing more difficult than that. If you have something good and useful, it's going to be sticky. And so test drives are amazing because they allow someone to use the product in a really, really low friction way. So I run a couple of different types of test drive. I have various frames of how I do the $1 for 15 days test drive, which highlights the specific tools. So I could take this Facebook post maker and say, I'll write you a Facebook post in the next 5 minutes, give me $1 and you can use it for 15 days. If you like it, you can stick after that. So I have various ways of doing that. And I also bundle it with free, which I call open source. I open sourced all my content. I made all my trainings and all my courses free because the value of information goes towards zero. And I know that the tools that use those trainings and the agents that we have far more utility to people. And that's proving to be true. People would rather use the agent in conjunction with a training than watch the 2-hour training, on its own. And so the next steps for you are create your tool agent inside SoloOS. There's that little icon in the top corner. And over the next 4 weeks, we're having a sprint for folks inside the society on deploying and distributing the virtual U. So we're going to get a tool out there. We're going to get customers into it. We're going to test drive it. We're going to show you how to serve clients and also sell at the same time. I've got 6 spots open for anyone who joins the annual SoloOS membership today. That includes some bonuses that aren't going to continue past probably April because at the moment it's $2,000. It saves $2,000. It's 2041. You get 4 weeks in the society with me. So that's calls on a Tuesday and a Thursday, plus a one-on-one call with me worth $4,500. So you get to all my test drive campaigns, you get a license for them, and then you get my personal help every week and every day on our WhatsApp group to plan and execute and grow them. So if you're a SoloOS member and you want to upgrade to annual, then the link is in the doc there. But I can take questions. The main thing is, what agent are you going to build? What tool? Those pieces. Do you want to talk to that, Mo, in terms of what we got to the other day? Just to help some of the thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. What I've spent the last couple of days primarily trying to build the knowledge base for it.
Yeah.
And I noticed a couple of things. The first thing I did was all the training for that, the 6 streams of video training, which is probably about an hour and a half or an hour's worth of videos. I
Mm.
transcribed them, put them all in one doc, and uploaded it. What I found was then in testing it, it seemed to struggle a bit to find the right bit of info.
Yeah.
So I broke it down and started uploading separate documents just for
Cool.
each chapter.
Yeah.
And I found it could find the stuff much faster.
Cool. Cool.
So that was really interesting, and I'm doing that more. I'm still sort of breaking it down further.
Yeah, we'll give lots of insights. We've spent months training these robots and these machines, so we'll give some insights on how to best structure them and do them. But the first thing is to actually, frame it up and create the right one. How are you feeling about, what do we call it again? I bastardized the name.
Weekly video generator.
Weekly video generator, that's right. So do you want to talk about a little bit about your process and how and why you chose that one?
So the two things people come into my world for primarily is how do I show up better on camera, and then once they've sort of started to get hold of that, it's what videos do I make.
Yeah.
And so my most successful training is a piece called the 6 streams of video, which is a strategic piece which really covers off, the 6 different primary video types that either bring new eyes into your world, get people to know you, like you, trust you, engage you, and then be served by you. And so some of those are about growing your audience, some of them are about building authority, and some are about just directly generating income. So, and what I noticed was that people love the training and it's really good, but it was always tweaked with the live sessions I do with people, like where I could answer which video project they should choose or which video they should make this week based on their specific nuances of their business. So I was pretty impressed, even just uploading half of the knowledge base, that it did start sounding pretty much like I did, But then,
Awesome.
there's a lot more. Then it felt like there's a lot more to go, because then suddenly sometimes it would go a little off on a tangent. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't say that.
Yeah. 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 You do need to like put constraints on it, because sometimes if it doesn't have a direct answer, it will go and it's
Yeah.
web connected, so it will go and search.
And
So how I deploy it with the big thing with tools that is different to say memberships or even coaching is that tools can become a habit, right? And habit embedding is something that probably not a lot of people have done in their client groups or their customer groups. And so there is I won't say a need, but there is a benefit of giving them confidence and training them how to use it, right? And getting them to save it in their toolbar. So every week when they get stuck, they can go back to the okay, I can just go to Mo's tool and actually go and get an answer there. And you'll see two different types of behavior with clients who have access to you. You'll have the people who will come and kind of ideate with you. Maybe they'll go, Mo, I'm thinking of like kind of these videos, and then they'll go to the tool afterwards and kind of nail it down into the specific thing. They'll get the ideation with you, and then they'll go and use the tool to do it. And also the other way around, where they'll do the kind of ideation and some of the thinking and the creative work, the conversation, the consulting, the coaching, whatever you want to call it, with the tool, and then they'll come to you for permission. It told me to do this. Should I do that? Right. And this is where tools are amazing, but having, as we kind of deploy in the platform, in the programs and the premium thing, having just the right level of access relative to what people are paying and what they're investing and how fast they want to go benefits from those things. Being a pure play software business and just tools, I don't think is completely optimal, while it's very scalable. But also the other way around, not having them makes it very, very restricted in terms of the leverage that we have. And some of my highest level access clients use my tools the most to speed up workflow and deployment.
James, one of the other things I was wondering about is there a is there a is there a place outside of the knowledge base uploading that where you can kind of give it the sequence of questions that I would usually ask to get people down that path of which video this week?
Yeah, yeah. We can have a session next week on kind of training and, refining it, and also maybe show some of the things that there's a lot of stuff that our agents do that we haven't talked about. A lot of functionality and capability that when asked and prompted to do, that we've just kind of quietly built in the background and do it. Also bear in mind that the models that we use, that we give you in Solo OS, are the latest and subsequently the most expensive ones that we're building on. We've only given you my agents that are running on the best models. Because I'm including a guest agent in everyone's membership, we're not running it on the best model because of cost constraints. So it's running on a very solid but mid-tier kind of model. So it doesn't have the full pieces that we've got, both in Solo OS platform and also with our license folks. But it's got a very powerful model running it as well. But we can still do a lot with it. So they're talking about embedding. It's a URL, right? So it's a public URL, and you can do what you want with that. Not fully, but if anyone starts to behave badly and abuses them, then they will be corrected gently along the way.
It rate limits them too, so they literally can't abuse it.
Yes.
Since it's an anonymous thing, we had to put that on.
But scale makes you a victim of success, and we have plenty of people trying to do nefarious behavior on the platform. If you try and run a test drive for 15 days and then try and do another one and then another one, it's just not polite, right? So you'll be summarily booted off. Steve.
G'day.
Hey.
Can you hear me all right?
I can.
Yeah. First question. If I wanted to research a bit more about what the agent would best be, I was thinking about using virtual JK to research that. Like, what is the most common question guys over 40 ask? And then you're going to get your hashtags and all that stuff.
Very, very good. I mean, real JK's here. We haven't
Yeah.
quite got to the idea. I'm actually in bed right now. This is actually the virtual version of me using HeyGen.
So yeah, first thing
he's a genius. He remembers more than I do. You can talk to him. But tell me what you're thinking, and I'll validate or invalidate it.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of getting the most common question asked on Google. I'm going to cross-check it with ChatGPT, which I also use as well, to say, hey, what is the most popular subject? And then build your prompts around that.
Can I give you another way to think about it?
Do that.
What puts them into motion?
Transformation. How can I change? How can I be better today?
Think smaller, think practical.
Quick win.
Yeah, doing something.
Yeah.
For me, I can help someone make $1 million, but it starts with an offer. You need an offer. You need an offer that you can deliver. You need an offer that you feel good about. You need an offer that sells. You need an offer, right? And so if I can help someone who's stuck or doing okay, but they're not in motion and momentum, unlock that I've got a fucking amazing offer and I feel good about it, and all the content's flowing out of me, and I can happily reach out to 10 people and put it in front of them. That's an unlock, right? It's a process thing. And I'd argue for some people, even posting on social media and going out there or outreaching to people and getting on the phone with them or whatever is also an unlock. So for these guys who are frustrated with their body, their weight, those people, like, what can you give them today? Because the unlock in progress with your client base is mirrored in your prospects, right? We're at the moment, I don't even think the silos I don't think the silos are useful anymore, because now we've got tools that can serve the market just as well as it serve our clients, and the free line has moved massively, right? So if you think client first, what's the most useful thing for them to unlock and put them in momentum, then you'll see that mirrored in the behavior of the marketplace. So is it their nutrition this week, or is it their workout plan tomorrow, or is it, what unlocks the energy for them to put them into motion? Because people in motion, once they start in motion and they get into motion and you have enabled the emotion, they get results, but they're also much easier to sell to, right? Because they're in motion moving towards a future that they couldn't really see before, and they've taken that first step.
Yeah, it's a form of relief, isn't it?
Yep. And most
Yeah,
coaching is that.
that's
Relief from
awesome. And
anxiety.
second thing, just to hog the mic, if I've got school group, so you would grab this URL and put it inside your classroom or in the
Yeah. Put it
community.
in a post, pin it, link it, do a little mini video on it or mini demo on it.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. I've been excited about this for a while.
Yeah. Put
Thank
them
you.
into
Thanks,
motion
Dan.
and then, build a habit around it. If you get tools into people's world, they will do more, they will stay longer, and they will get better results. Hey, Dan, every time I talk to you, I feel like we get a tour of your house. Like
Well,
are you a homeless, no office man? You just go everywhere.
no, I have an office upstairs, but right now my wife's traveling, so I'm getting breakfast for the kiddo before he starts school and all that stuff.
Nice.
Multitasking, I'm quite proud of myself because I usually suck at doing that, but I'm actually
Well
doing
done.
pretty good right now. Um, anyway, I'm obviously so I'm completely sold on this idea of the AI tools. As you know, I'm actually looking at my family room here. I've just been recording my first ever courses for the last couple of weeks. It's
Oh,
a big
fun.
process. No, it's not. Um,
No, it's
but
not at all.
yeah, yeah,
It
it's
was
cool.
my least favorite thing of building anything was recording, especially in isolation. That's why for 3 years I stopped recording things and started making them with people. For
Yeah,
that reason, I couldn't do it anymore.
with people live, which is what Virtual JK told me to do before I actually decided to record the course. Why don't you do it live with people? Now I see why.
Smart, listen to
But
them.
and the other thing that I was thinking of during shooting these courses is something you said to me, which is you're going to put too much into the first one, and I'm like, fuck, I've put so much into this. It's a monster. Anyway, um, as you know, in these courses, I've got like several tools, which are essentially spreadsheets I'm getting people to do, but these are all very good candidates for these types of tools,
Yep.
the AI tools that you're talking about now. So I'm just trying to think about now where to plant them, right? Because on our last call, I sort of said, I think I'm probably a white label client for you down the road. But I felt like I needed to get the courses out there and actually get some, I've got zero.
You need to see it, right, and feel and sense the bits.
Yeah, I've got to see how people even respond to these sheets initially, like I think they're things that people are going to want and need, but and they might interact with them in a different way, which will then depend on to sort of determine how the tools are built. But anyway, I guess my questions were around so you can make one of these now, right? How is this link different from, say, building this tool myself in Claude? Because I started messing around in Claude saying I want to build this tool, yada yada. What's the difference? And I guess the thing I'm kind of thinking about is things like how do you how do you make these things secure so that it's not just anyone's going to end up on this thing and then the value's gone out of it, or is that not a bad thing? And it's the more people's hands it gets into, the better, like how do you approach that type of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, this tool is about as much scope as we can build to give you guys, considering the membership level that we've got. And what pending what kind of usage and volume and also costs that people are running. I lose everybody. I did. I'm back.
You're back.
It was a great answer. You have to watch the replay.
Yeah.
These tools are about there's some things that we're going to add to them, but they're about as scoped out as we can do and they're designed to get someone rapidly building a tool that they can give to their clients today, and then use that, to generate traffic. They're not.
It also tracks the clicks, and you can export the list of everybody that signed up on that link. Forgot to mention that.
If I was to ask a bit more directly, so at the moment I've got another membership platform I was planning to put these courses in. And I guess I can have this link sitting in there that they can try just as a sort of phase one, me checking this stuff out. Or is there a better way to do it? Part two of that question is if I want to build 5 of these things, is that then getting into the white label category? I'm trying to figure out.
A white label is going to give you way more because we're using the best models, and we're also the functionality that our agents have now is about 3 times bigger than the ones that we can give you just due to cost constraints. So yeah, it's basic, right? And for me, it was more about speed and proving my hypothesis to people that coaches with tools and people who help people with tools can serve clients better, can go faster, and ultimately use these tools to acquire people as well. So the most basic frame that I'd have would be build an agent, embed the link inside a membership platform, then take the agent, put a landing page in front of it and say test drive my agent for $1 with a Stripe checkout, and then send them to link to the agent. Can you gate and control it and all those kind of pieces? No, not really. If someone's got the link and the URL and the URL's live, they can use it, and we can do things to stop them. But ultimately, if they've got it, and it's a public URL, so it was designed to be frictionless rather than have lots of friction around it.
Yeah, and right now, for where I'm at, if it ended up in people sharing it around with their buddies, I'd probably be loving that because that's just more eyeballs at the stage I'm at. And so back to that first question, the difference between doing it with what you guys have done, you've just made it easy to build out rather than me going through all the prompting process in Claude myself. It's that type of thing.
People are more than welcome to go and build private GPTs and use Claude to, vibe code their own things, and they will. And if you're a builder and you're happy to kind of support people on those platforms as well and bug fix and those things, then having that level of control will not make you, attached to anybody or anything as well. And lots of people.
I think we're forgetting the important piece too. James is paying for all the API costs for all of these agents. It's included with your membership to Solo OS. So you don't. That's the real difference here.
Let people find out how expensive these things are to really run.
Yeah, no, all good. I appreciate the chance to have a go at just making one with you guys and using that as my test. And I definitely have always been attracted to the getting the people in the door for pennies thing that you've always preached, James. So yeah, okay, cool. Well, look, it's a good start. Probably the hard thing for me is I want to jump ahead and basically get into building my own white label suite of tools that I can offer. But again, without people even going through the courses yet, I just have no idea how they're going to respond. So it seems like I'm already doing a ton of work. It seems a bit dumb to do another ton of work before I get it out in the market.
Yeah, and I'll probably be laboring this point for the next couple of years because I don't think most people are thinking about AI in the right way. I think they're complicating the shit out of it. And when you have a process that you ask a client to do to get a result, you can make a tool run the process, or you can make a tool that gets them the result, right?
Yeah.
And the AI agent replaces the interface that we had to go through before, right? I don't look at spreadsheets anymore because I just talk to my platform and it tells me who is doing what, who are the top users, who's the most likely candidate to upgrade. Like I've just shifted the interface. And that's what these AI tools have done. And a spreadsheet is another type of interface, right? What insight leading to a decision did you want a client to take away from doing that spreadsheet? Because you can build an agent around the insight and then you can help them make the decision. Is it profitability? Is it P&L? Is it cash flow? Because if you build an agent around that specific insight that leads to them doing something, you've just skipped the painful interface, which was the fucking spreadsheet that no one wanted, or the funnel that no one actually wanted to build, or the Facebook post they didn't want to write, right? And that's the way to think about AI. And that's why we have tried to make it as easy as possible to build those things so you can speed up the process and insights that you give clients and subsequently use that to get more.
Yeah. The one example you just gave then, cash flow. That's one of the things that I'm showing people how to do in my courses. And it's actually very handy to have a cash flow spreadsheet, right, that you're running and tracking and all of that. And so I feel like
But it sucks.
It sucks to do. No one wants to do it. I'm just make people
no one
need
wants to build funnels. No one it sucks. And people do more stuff when it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And so I think a huge part of my job is to help people to do the things that are good for them while them not sucking. No one wants to build a fucking funnel and what color button is it? And oh, look at the spreadsheet. Look at my beautiful color. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
You want a thing and then you want money and you want to go and do something else and you want to work with cool people. Just take away the suck.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, cool. Thank you. And I see some other hands there, so I'll leave it there. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Hey, Paul.
G'day, James. Mate, my
I never forget the magpie.
Well, I still haven't fixed the screen door that it came through, so I have to get onto
Paul,
that.
what, a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
And magpie
came straight through my door.
People worried about crocodiles and snakes in Australia, but fucking magpies, I think, are more dangerous than anything. Anyway.
Oh, well, at least I'm famous for something.
Hey, stuck in my memory.
Well, funny you say that, mate. I don't know if Steve's question answered this. I watched the recording, but my plumber arrived just when I was in the middle of that. I think the question. So as I understand it, we've got one agent inside Solo OS. You're suggesting we do it for a specific task, not a virtual Paul. You're suggesting that's what I gather was what Steve's suggestion, and that still holds true. We do one specific task in that, use that as our lead magnet, give that to clients, not go the full virtual Paul angle.
I'll answer this as accurately and contextually as I possibly can.
Of course you will.
A tool agent has the most utility to help clients do one task right now, plus go and acquire clients. And that's what I really want people to benefit from both. So I've chosen a tool and I'm suggesting a tool agent to start with because virtual pool is hard to sell. It will be more useful for clients once they are clients because it speeds up and it's got less friction in those pieces. But frankly, most people making a virtual version of themselves and going out to the market and say, hey, get virtual access to me.
I'm nearly finished with this, Harley. You got 20 minutes. Have you finished your breakfast?
Come on, finish your breakfast.
Come on, Dan.
That's what we've got. That's what we've got nannies for, Dan. Come on. That's what Bali is.
Yeah, I would think of it as like a lead magnet delivery vehicle.
Yeah.
Not a general purpose U.
Okay.
That's the upsell.
And from that, Dan, we can put that, we can create a landing page and put that they've got to opt in to get access to that, or
and then just email a link.
Yeah. And we can see the chats, guys. Do we see what people are asking on our version? What data do we see as a user?
You will see clicks, number of clicks.
Answer this carefully, Dan. You don't promise anything.
You'll see number of clicks, and you can export the list of people who signed up that use the agent.
Okay, so I don't have any. I don't
we
have any
will explore
data.
the viability of how far we can push the guest agents, and we'll give you as much as we possibly can.
Okay.
Yeah,
So as it currently
since it's
stands,
like a public facing thing, we got to be careful with like the
okay.
terms of service.
Yeah, we have also a data protection obligation. If someone's not signing up to our terms of service and we're storing data on them chatting, then it exposes a liability. So we're careful about what data we capture and hold for people.
Okay. So as it stands, we don't see any market research from people, what they're using, what are they asking, which will be useful as a virtual pool, but not as useful for an agent for one task because they're asking the same thing over and over.
Yeah, but it also it's a one of the big pieces is that it's a conversation enabler as well. So
yeah,
it enables contextual conversations because if someone's opted in for a particular tool, we can have a good hypothesis that they're trying to solve that particular problem as well. So it enables a contextual conversation off the back of it that's a lot more relevant than a general one.
And as you've said, there's no protection on that link. The link once we get, there's no membership portal for that. That's wherever it is. If they've got the link and they can see the link, they can use it, which is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. Love what you're doing. Well done.
Thank you. Hey, Danielle. Where'd you go?
She's on mute talking.
You're muted.
I like talking to myself. Hey, James.
I love it.
So with that knowledge base, you uploaded the Word document. I have a bunch of courses on the one that I would want to create. Would I also then upload various ways that I've answered that knowledge in previous coaching containers to deepen the ability for the agent to work for people?
Yeah, the answer I'm giving now is like put everything in there, and knowledge bases, just like prompts, can be trimmed down more so than built up, right? And so if you put what you got in there, you might find that it reaches particular answers and conclusions where you've accidentally contradicted yourself. God forbid that we've ever done that over the years. But it turns out we do it a lot. We actually have two different pieces of content and courses that actually kind of contradict each other because of timeline. The longer you've been doing it, the more true this is. So put everything in there first, and then you can edit the knowledge base. And again, we'll help you tune them as you go along.
Okay, so should I upload the content as individual knowledge base and then upload the answers that I would give?
Put
so
them all
that
in.
it's easier to trim out?
Yeah, put them in that format. That works.
Okay, cool. Excited to try this.
Cool.
Thanks.
Who's that? Hey, Siobhan.
Hey, I'm going to beat a semi-dying horse here. So I think a bunch of us had a different interpretation of how these were going to work. So if they're out there as a lead gen and we can't remove access, so the person's just going to have it forever, and it's in a testing, like we're testing out an agent, are we able to delete that one agent and then create a new one?
Yeah.
Okay. Secondly, you were talking about using it as lead gen. How would you without this turning into a long dialogue, could you explain how you would use something like yours, for example, if you do the $9 or you do the $1, 15 days, you don't sign up, you remove them, obviously. If we can't do that, what would be the ascension? You just so for now, we should just use it with existing clients or people that are already in a container. Like, what happens if they don't pay? Like, we can't remove them.
So what's the question? What happens?
How is that effective lead gen? I guess it feels
because if you've captured the lead or captured the customer, you've got a customer. The purpose of a product is to acquire a customer, right?
Yeah. So they spent the $9. They spent the
So what information do you have on that client to communicate with them? If someone's given you $9 or $1,
that they wanted that thing, obviously. but
No, I
potentially
mean,
not even their.
if someone's purchased something, you know who they are, you've got their email address, etc.
But you're not sure that we can have that yet, or yes, we can definitely get their email address.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
put,
you
if you,
can export it.
yeah,
Okay,
you can definitely get their email. But what I'm saying is, if you do a $1 test drive of your tool
gotcha.
and you capture that, they're in
Mhm.
Stripe. They're probably, in my world, the customer sits on GHL. They get an automation, and we
Right. So definitely
take
don't
them
just
through
give it
that.
away for free,
You can
because
if you
then you
want.
really have nothing. Well, you could, but then you just have like a ton of free people on there. I mean, I'm assuming at some point you're going to want lists of people who are, so you guys can remove them so it's not getting overloaded and being really expensive as well.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah.
A lot of you spend a lot of time trying to prevent people like seeing your knowledge. And I'm not surprised that a lot of you are having a lot of trouble selling your knowledge because you're trying to fucking gatekeep it all the time. Just an observation.
It's valid. It's valid.
It's not, I'm picking on you, but I'm picking on
I know.
everybody here.
Well,
Because
I can
a
see
lot of the comments are like, how do I stop people getting my stuff?
it.
How do I stop people taking from me?
Well, let me reframe it. How
You defend, you're the public defender.
I'm really good at this, so let me keep going. How do you, because the real question isn't how do I stop people from taking, because we want the knowledge and information out there. We want to be known for it, blah, 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 all the things. You've shown that that works. How do we make sure or get a good variability that they're going to buy more? Like if they're getting enough, like maybe
Be
it's how do
useful.
we, yeah, okay, well, how do we be just useful enough and not so useful that they're like, well, no, I'm happy forever with this free tool.
Broken way of thinking.
Okay.
How do I be just useful enough so they need me to do something else?
Well, if it does
Utterly
everything.
upside down thinking.
Yeah, but it's also
How do I be
true,
so useful for someone that they can't fucking leave and they desperately need me to validate every move they make every second of the day? How do I be
okay.
so useful to someone that they harass me mercilessly and I have to put strong boundaries in place?
Okay.
Try
That is
thinking
also
like
valid.
that.
Yeah.
Just try it for a bit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like be so useful that they won't leave you alone, and then obviously they're going to upgrade.
Just try it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, that's what I've done with my one-to-one clients now, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the more you try and hold back stuff,
Yeah.
the more people will hold back.
That it really
The
landed
more you
this
try
time.
and
Like I've heard
protect
you
your
say
knowledge, the more people will go around you to find it.
Yeah. Okay. No,
The more
like,
I
it's
give
really landed.
away, the more I get. It's weird. I know. It's crazy.
So it just happens, and that's yeah.
It happens because money and relationships flow.
Mm.
And people think that things are transactional because that's how they're told to operate. I turn up to work, you give me money for time. One for one, right?
Yeah.
Exponential things work in flow. And flow works from starting and then it flows and keeps going, right?
Okay, I'm nodding.
I've had clients for I've had 3 people for close to a decade. And I solved a problem that created another one. Then I solved that one and I created another one. And we've gone around that loop, that flow, hundreds of times, maybe thousands in some cases, right? And they are still in my world because we just kept moving. And sometimes there were massive issues that they had to overcome that almost put them out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept them in the game. I helped keep them in the game by seeing the move to make or deciding, right? The more you let knowledge and energy and information flow, the more that comes back, which is what everybody wants. but everybody's guarding their stuff and their ideas, thinking they're valuable, but they're only valuable when they have the surface area and the contact with other people. Otherwise, they're just fucking nutty delusions that you have in your head that you think are valuable.
I think a lot of us coaches
talking to you
started in
specifically
sales.
on that
Yeah.
on that particular statement. But
We have a lot of
do you
fans in
get
the chat
what
right
I'm
now.
saying?
Oh no, I do. It really, like I was saying that I spent a lot of time in sales and marketing. I think a lot of us who are in coaching and who have been coaching adjacent for more than 5 years did, and it's just like you don't realize how subconscious it is. Even when you're like, oh yeah, I've been around James for a while and I know that we don't do this, we do this. It's still there. Still comes in.
It's hard. When I'm feeling scarcity comes or fear or those things arrive to me, I feel what am I going to do to get? I have to bring myself back to what am I going to give?
People are asking to have they can't wait for the virtual JK to be trained on this now. They said he got too nice.
Yeah, he's a pussy.
All right, thanks.
I'm sitting in a house that I work in. It has no other purpose to work in and work out. It's got like empty bedrooms. It's excessive, right? And I paid cash for it. I didn't earn any of that money. I gave away things that let it flow to me. And none of what I know and I've experienced over a decade of like working with people and helping these and all the other things I've done is valuable until it touches another person. And if I don't let it out there in any format, and I'm talking about interfaces, if I don't let it out there in any format and whatever is available to me today, then nothing comes back. And all I'll get is frustration because the gap between my knowledge and the potential of it, and it only fulfills the potential when it touches other people, is unfulfilled. And if you're frustrated, it means the potential gap is open. Frustration does not exist without potential. If you're frustrated, it means that something's going to fucking happen and it needs to happen by letting it out, not by trying to keep it in. You get me?
Are you still talking to
Hi,
me or is it
Brendan.
everybody now?
Are we good for me now? Or is that conversation still going? Sorry, I missed that last bit.
No, we're great.
Good. And can everyone hear me okay? I've got a more elaborate setup than I've had before, so I've got no idea if I'm coming across. All
Loud and
good?
clear. Perfect.
All good. So mine's a little two-part thing. I can definitely see like the powerful insights of using it as a support inside a coaching model. But for lead generation, it's just pricked a couple of insights. So number one, in a health space, are there anything to do with data safety if I'm using for like a tool as a lead magnet compared to when someone's like in a container? Is there anything that I need to be aware of in terms of that?
The guest tool is bypassing straight into a model. We will chat today about just an AI disclaimer that you can put on your site and provide it.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay. And then secondly,
we are not holding data of your people. We only hold your data and look at it every day. But you signed up for that.
Yes, but what's going, yeah, so like in a health space, we need to be careful with depends what we're offering and then what sort of answers we're getting back. Yeah. Particularly for a client. I've never used anything like this in the past. It's just, here's something. Yeah. And you're just sort of giving them an email with where this is someone that might be communicating or trying to solve a problem. I just didn't know if there was more of a complication. You think it's all solvable through disclaimer? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And then secondly, I'm only thinking this through. I've never run it, seen it, or anything, but often I've been a big believer that if I give someone a lead magnet and they're either still using it or it's sitting to the side, or if it's too effective, it's harder to convert them across. Like, so is there guidance in like selecting an appropriate, like if I was to use a lead magnet in a health space and give them a tool, yeah, in terms of, how do I put it? I don't want to give them a tool that's too effective, that for 90% of the people it fixes all their problems. Like, it doesn't bother me because I do things to help people.
I don't think we've built a tool that's capable of that. In some cases, it could be. One of the principles I use in, selling anything is like truth on the table, right? And if someone is using something, then that action and that behavior is the closest thing to truth because it's actually based on reality. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So why are they using it? What are they trying to do with it? And is it fulfilling the result, right? And so if someone is using it, I don't see it as a negative. I see it as a data point. Okay, where are you? Why are you using it? Are you working towards a specific goal? Are you working towards a specific time frame? And what are you trying to do? Because everybody who's using something has an intended future outcome that they're trying to achieve. And when they tell me the intended future outcome, I can say, the thing you've got is perfect. You should keep doing it. There's a faster way to do this, or there's an easier way to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It sort of made sense. I was sort of thinking it through. It was just sort of like, because I used to, at one stage, I sent out quite a large ebook and it was too big. And what I noticed is people, it would just sort of sit there and they're like, oh, I've got something from Brendan. I haven't fully used it. And it seemed to like, I know the asset itself was creating a block, but I was just thinking of someone's already got something, they're making their way through it. Like, does it have a slow down? Does it? Yeah, I can see.
Yep. Volume slows people down.
Yeah.
I had someone come to my house a few months ago who bought my book 4 years ago and didn't buy a single thing in between. And they said it was great. There was a 4-year lag between doing the first action and doing the second one, right?
Yeah.
They were like, I did this, and they came and they built basically my model into their life, and then with none of my help, just reading a book.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. And just one little quick thing to add to that little sort of anecdote about giving away knowledge. One thing that I've done when I looked into a little bit of research in terms of health, we have a situation where like more of us are overweight than ever before. Like 70% of people in the Western world. If you typed in how to lose weight in Google, you'll get back a couple of trillion bits of information in a split bit of a second. There's more gyms, there's more knowledge than everything. It doesn't really matter per much. People are looking for that right person to help them apply it. So I don't think it's ever really a knowledge sharing issue. That's just the tool to give the opportunity for the person to be coached. That's all I was just trying to add in. Like, I think giving away information is great. It's not, people aren't looking for the knowledge, are they? Really?
No. Desire lives in the marketplace.
And that's why that
offer converts desire into demand.
Yeah.
Right?
And that statement you said before, where people can get a quick win and then it creates the habit. Yeah, they get that momentum and then create habit. Like, I think that was really powerful. I've sort of highlighted it twice and circled it 4 times. It was a great insight. So thanks for that.
Well, it's funny because like in the coaching industry, fuck all coaching's actually taken place because no one's actually changed the habits. They've just given lots of people strategies that actually just create complexity, right? With these tools, we can actually create habits because we can have something that doesn't require us to be there all the time that still actually, generates the results, or generates the results that are from forming the habit piece. And so us injecting ourselves through these leverage methods can change the habits, and then we understand what the true desire is. You've got two women today who say, I'm going to go on a diet, right? There's probably 1 million of them today who said that. You got 2 women. One of them's got a wedding in 12 weeks. The other one, it's winter and nothing's happening, but she said she's going on a diet. Who has more desire to fulfill the outcome of what they want from the diet, which is to lose weight and look better in a dress?
Yeah, the wedding one. Yeah.
So this is where the niche, the category that people choose is essential to converting desire into demand. And people don't tell you to niche and choose a category and drill down for fun. It's because you're getting closer to the actual desire that someone has because they act on it. Lots of people say they want things.
Yeah.
I want a better body. I want more money. I want to do. But it's only when they get utterly sick of the status quo or the things they've tried or the things they're doing right now, or reality bites. How many divorced dudes suddenly get abs? What a surprise. You're suddenly on the dating market and now you want to look better, but you didn't do that for your wife, did you? Right? Desire, true desire, exists in millions and billions of people today. It's just finding the spark that lights that desire into intention. And that's what narrowing down things does in terms of the message and the communication. Because, you know, in the example of those two women, one is going to be quite simple to sell to when you promise the result. The other one's going to be a bit wishy-washy and you're going to leave it up to chance.
Yeah. Okay.
James, do you
Thank
ever use anti-desire? In other words, not just hating that version of yourself so much that you'll do whatever it takes to just not be that person anymore. And I have to take another path and go down this other transformation and use that as the hook for a sale.
Yeah, as long that with the caveat that you should never use shame in your marketing because
No
you'll
shame.
get broken people, right? And that's the nuance in terms of the deployment of that idea. But talking to people who are utterly sick of doing it the same way and not getting the result, or utterly sick of trying 50 things that haven't worked because they were, you know, the wrong thing for them, or that's the like crux of an offer converting on that day, is they've just reached the point of complete intolerance. Like, I can't do this anymore. And that's where the cost of inaction exceeds the cost of action.
Loss
That's
aversion.
where the thing that was too expensive 6 months ago is now essential. It wasn't too expensive. It was just the value equation has just tipped. And so that's the person you're talking to if you want a high level of conversion. Right now, they're the people who are utterly sick of the thing not working and they're trying. But the people who haven't tried it yet are hard to convert. They don't have a cost of inaction because they're not doing anything. The only piece being shame, unfortunately, works in marketing, but it will get you broken customers. Because you're having to parent them to get results.
What do you mean by shame there? Like, how would you use that, say, in a health and fitness? Like, what do you mean by shame compared to helping someone remove a pain?
You're fat. Everybody's pointing at you on the beach. I bet you feel terrible about that. You should do something about it. Versus you go to the beach and you pull your clothes and you're uncomfortable and you don't want to take your top off. You don't have to tolerate this. You're better than this. I've got to try this. I've got a solution for you. Shame is personal. And most people shame themselves enough these days for us not to need to introduce it and it being unwelcome and rejected. And so you speak to the individual that they don't have to tolerate the status quo rather than them feeling bad in the status quo. Because shame has been weaponized in our whole society that's how a lot of people parent, unfortunately. And so shame has been weaponized. And if you add to it, you will get results, but then you will be very confused why you're energetically having to drag your clients towards a result, because it's like getting your kids to eat broccoli. They don't know it's good for them. So yeah, just have to bully them into it.
Okay. Thank you for that. That was good.
It's subtle. It's really subtle. And I come across a number of people in personal development and business coaching as well, which use shame accidentally in their message and their deployment, because they're frustrated that people are doing something that they know they shouldn't be doing, rather than showing them and demonstrating that there is a better way and giving the person confidence that there is a better way. Because if we inject confidence and belief into our marketplace, then they start to move. But if we use shame and guilt, they stick in place, and because they've got enough of it, so they like, get the fuck off me. You're like, I've got enough of this myself. Thank you very much. I'm not reading your message.
That's really important. Like quite a few years ago, when I first came in contact with Tony Robbins, he sort of gave this story that you have to create like more discomfort where the person is, so it makes the next step a bit easier. Yeah. And as a very young, sort of black and white, blunt person, I think I use shame a lot in that space to try to make a space more painful, right? Like I thought, what I'll do instead of being soft is I'll tweak it a bit. But I think I went heavily into that shame space, and it really didn't work for me for quite a while. But that insight that you just gave me there just really showed me I know it didn't work. It caused a lot of issues. This is, back in the mid to late 90s. So it was quite a long time ago, but that was a really great insight. So
there's been a cultural and social dynamic shift where shame is present in the binary and a lot of information that people get from the family all the way out, right? And bullying and these kind of things are just deployments of shame. Some heuristics like rules of thumb that I would look at: if you use the word should in any kind of communication or marketing or copy, you should look at what's around it. If you use must, and if you have to default to words like proven, it's not shame based, but you're initiating a binary, but because you're trying to say that your way is better than theirs, when you should just say you demonstrate the good way, the right way, and then you give them confidence that they no longer need to tolerate the current way. And all copy and messaging comes down to they work through contrast. So we need to show them a better future, like tangibly, demonstrably a better future, and that they don't have to tolerate the current one if they're unhappy in it. And unhappy is, one of those words that like doesn't mean unhappy. It just means that they have potential. And again, like if someone's got frustration, they have potential. If no one's frustrated, then they don't have potential. If someone's apathetic, then there is nothing to change. It is what it is. It's just their reality, which can be quite upsetting for people who love to initiate change and has the blank slate belief that they can help everybody. You're back, Paul.
Mate, well, I thought it didn't see any other hands, so I thought I'd ask a question while I had you. I came here as I think you worked out.
I'm feeling generous today. We've turned it into open general Q&A, but
that's what I thought.
You know me, can't stop giving.
You're the giver. But I came here thinking I'd create a virtual Paul, as I said, and then my head went into the tool. I know I could ask virtual JK what tool I should create. I suppose I was interested. My head went to in my audience, health business owners. My head went to a new patient generator or a recruitment machine. So it's either new patients or it's staff issues. Any first thoughts, or what comes to your mind would solve these guys?
On a client journey in the first few weeks, what if when they come to you, what aha or moments or assets are generated that they go, oh, okay, I got it now, or that was worth it, right? I use the example for me of an offer. When someone has an offer, they feel really good about this converting in those things. I don't need to do much else. Honestly, I just put them in, I just give them some systems and put them in flow, because they do the rest, right? And because they go out there. So what piece or asset or something that solves the problem, like if it's recruitment, It could be the job description or the CV or anything like that actually gives them something tangible. Because if you give them something tangible, you have given them an asset that lives even outside the technology. And one of the reasons that we export out to Google Docs is you've got a living artifact of the thing that I've given you. What is it?
So it could be the job ad creator, but my head went to
Yep.
the biggest win our clients get initially is they fix the conversion conversation at the end of the consult. So at the end of the session, the new graduate will and ah, give me a call in a few weeks, but the experienced therapist says, James, for you to get back to soccer in 2 weeks, you need to see me 3 times a week for the next 2 weeks.
Perfect.
That
Yeah,
conversion
love that.
conversation.
Yeah,
So
conversion conversation script. So they've got a piece that actually outputs something that they can give to one of their team today. And when that team member comes back and says, hey, they booked 3 more sessions, they go,
okay,
shit, Paul's stuff works.
it's the conversion conversation creator, James. There you go.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thanks, champion. That's what I wanted. Top.
If you think of, insight and assets and some of the phrases I use in the digital world, then insight is just like you help someone see something for the first time. When you help someone create an asset that they then go and get benefit from and yield without you, there'll always be a trace back to you, right? But the faster you can give someone an asset and then them go and tangibly use that and put it out into the world, the more, and then put that in motion, the more value you'll be in their world, right? Mm-hmm. Honestly, we've been quite slow in being able to deploy our white labels and deploy them with clients and those things because there's a lot of hands-on and customization and those things, way slower than I want. And my focus is like making it easier and faster for them to launch a licensed platform and get out there and get it cash flowing and selling and the marketplace, because I know how powerful that is. Because once I put these people in motion, everything takes care of, oh my God, people are joining and then they're upgrading and then my clients are getting served without me. And you just introduce them to a new world. And that's about me giving them an asset, the asset going out there, the asset having a return, and then everything just kind of working, its own. And if we can close that gap, then we have a very, very powerful, form of relationship, because when things are in motion, in coaching, we actually get the opportunity to work on the important stuff. Lots of people aren't doing the things on the surface because of some underlying level, and the execution layer is now being taken care of by technology. If someone's not posting the post or doing the diet or sending the offer or converting the patients, that's where coaching comes in, because it's actually a person problem that's showing up in a business or an environment. Last one, Steve.
I'm honored. Thanks, mate. Going hard is good too, by the way. I like the way you said, just get it out there and the rest will take care. I think I'm guilty of holding back a fair bit of my tools and wanting people to buy it. So yeah, just getting it out there and just reciprocity, no doubt, comes back.
Have fun, let it out there. Like Solo OS right now is costing me a fortune to run because we're doing the best models. The guys are building some amazing stuff, and it's really expensive, but we've got people abusing it, but there's all these emergent opportunities, right? Someone's written 60 client offers, coaching coaches on there, absolutely blew through hundreds of dollars worth of tokens, right? So I reached out to him. Hey, would it be useful if we had an agency tier where you had folders and you had subfolders and those kind of things, and it wouldn't be the same, cost a fortune to find that opportunity, but 25 or 30 people might want to run their coaching or their agency business off the back of my platform. But I wouldn't have found that unless I just let it run expensively and do it. And it's the same thing with emergent opportunities to clients. If we put stuff in their hands, they're going to use it in ways that we didn't imagine. An opportunity. It's not a problem. It's an opportunity to get it out.
Yeah. So it's like they're going to get as much as they can out of the free tools, but sometimes people need to get that reassurance from the horse's mouth. Within your AI, does it? And you might have gone through this. Does it say at some stage, "Hey, go to this classroom for more details"? Can you train it? No.
We are prompting AI
If you
to
click on
solve
AI
more AI.
Writer, if you just click on the AI Writer button that you use to create the system prompt, it gives you like ways to improve it. You just click it and you can just talk to it to fine tune it, and it'll rewrite the system instructions with those updates. Yeah.
I've got all my
you know how
course
how
material.
right now I've got a Google Doc that sells an offer, right? And someone raises their hand, or they go through a particular place and they read the offer. That offer is static. It's a single offer that appeals to quite a wide range of people because lots of people have bought it, right? In the future, there won't be a static offer. Every offer will be customized to that person right there, right where they are, with parameters that I have in terms of what I'm prepared to offer. Because that person will tell the machine exactly what they're dealing with, exactly where they're stuck, and it will give them a plan. Then it will say, "Do you want some help with that?" And how many times have I said that phrase to you guys? Do you want some help with that? Right? The AI age isn't like, oh yeah, it's cool and we can talk to robots. It's an interface and it's customization. Because right now, this is possible right now, we can customize every single interaction with a client, a prospect, a lead, all the way through. That's the technology is there, and that's where we're going to shortly with Solo OS. And so your agent selling people into your next agent, or your coaching, or those things will be, obviously a default path. There's no such thing as, there won't be funnels anymore how we currently view funnels, where you linearly click through. It will be contextual, it will be relevant, it will be useful, and it will terminate in that, do you want some help with that question? At scale, 24/7.
Fucking cool, man. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, Dan.
Anything to add, Dan?
Yes. I want to first thank everybody who have been pressure testing the system over the last couple months. I've spoken with a lot of you in the support tickets, in the chats, in the community board. I try my best to get to all of you. I hope it's been helpful and fast. But really, all this feedback it's kind of what's propelling the direction of this software. So please keep sending me stuff. Use the support ticket channel. I think there was a bug where the ticket button wasn't showing up in the support bot thing. It's in there now. So if you click on the little question mark thing on top, if you have a suggestion for something you want to see, if no matter how small the bug is, let me know, because I'm like powered by AI. I got a whole team of AI robots that can just quickly fix these things and deploy them right away. So keep it going. But the pace is slowing down a little bit because, I don't know, James, if you've talked a little bit about what's coming down the road with the agentic agent, or if this is not the right channel for that. But innovations are occurring simultaneously.
It's happening. So,
I mean, it's like not that big of a deal.
I think unifying everything in one place, to fulfill the vision of what I've just described there, is inevitable. But one of the things that I've noticed, and Dan's kind of validated with real data, is the fact that this multi-agent view is, kind of going the way of the dodo, because it's very difficult it's very difficult to navigate, right? So I don't know if you've got it there, Dan, but you're welcome to show them what actually looks like.
you can already see it happening in the marketplace. The open claw stuff. It's just a single agent with skills is where everything is going. We did an analysis.
I did a little tease of the screenshot in the document there. But if you look at an agentic agent where you see a single agent with multiple skills, multiple tools, and multiple processes, and also a human maybe in the mix there, then you can probably start to imagine what a future interface looks. Imagine.
Well, it's crazy.
Just imagine if you guys were chatting to virtual JK, and you had a higher level of access, and then you could chat to me in the same flow, right? And you and I were working with the agent in the same flow, in exactly the same place, in a unified place. And then we're getting the agent to go and build the funnel that we've just talked about, or build the agent that we've just talked about, or make the offer in real time. And so putting all those things in one place with a unified interface is what's happening next.
And a lot of you are already using it that way. People are using virtual JK to like write all their content, even though there's the daily content machine, which isn't. That's just like a signal that's
30% of you are wrong. 30% of you are using the wrong agent. And so
for now, use the specialist agents, you'll get better output, but just know that that's the direction it's going, and it's going to be here sooner than you think. We also are reinventing how workshops are going to be run. We're going to have, you guys are going to get workshops with agents inside the workshop so imagine right now, instead of the chat system here, it's just an agent that you can talk to and can execute the frameworks that the coach on the webinar is teaching you about, building that in the system too. So I'm doing my best to keep up with everything, but don't hold back. Keep sending me stuff. By the end of the day tomorrow, the memory system is going to get a big upgrade. So it's going to feel like it knows you a little bit better. A few folks mentioned that the older system, the Sovereign JK, felt like it just remembered stuff a little bit better. And I figured out why today. So thanks to whoever sent me that piece of feedback. So we're listening. Use the ticket system. That's the best way for me to track and log everything.
Dan's a secret weapon in this, and because he's so attractive, he doesn't want too much publicity because he doesn't want.
I'd like to do.
He doesn't want girls to know where he lives. So he's our secret weapon for a while until we start, talking about it in public a little bit more. But Dan is the secret behind, all this in terms of making both our crazy ideas kind of come to life as we see them. But the big thing is that what Dan is doing is building this around you, right? This isn't just like have this thing and go.
Yep. It's very much, and we're in the age that you can build software like that. You can just use, I'm watching how everybody's using it, and I'm just shaping it to that. It helps that I have a SaaS background, so I kind of understand the best practices. But it's fun, and I enjoy this space. So keep it coming, keep innovating, and try not to. I would say lean into asking virtual JK what tools to create. I think that's a really good idea. It's using really powerful models that are trained on your memory and all of James's material. So it'll guide you to the right thing. Since you only have limited number of agents, you want to make sure you do something that can create quality output. And remember that the agents can create documents and it can create landing pages. So if you give it a template for what kind of landing page you want to give people that's proven to convert for your health business or health coaching business or whatever, or you have a hybrid offer template type of document, you put that in the system prompt. Or if you have a script, you put that in the system prompt. So it has the template, and you can give people that output just through a conversation. And then after the conversation, it'll output the thing, and then they can get it and download it. So I would use it for deliverables, not just the chat experience, because people get lost with the chat experience.
Yeah.
Can we connect to Stripe now? Not if you're not a white label. Oh, you mean the capabilities? No, that's going to be kind of one of the last integrations because it's just a sensitive API that I don't want to screw up. I'm going to bring on some devs for that. But if you click into the capabilities button, and when you're typing in virtual JK at the bottom where you type in, there's a little wrench icon. Click the wrench icon, and you can see everything that the agent can do. People forget that it can do YouTube search. It can search YouTube comments to help you come up with like what is the marketplace talking about. I'll build content around it. It does X searches. You can figure out what's trending in your niche. It does web scraping. Go to this website and read all the Substack articles. Or I don't know if it can do that, but you can test it out. And then once you test it out, you can actually put in the system prompt, use the YouTube search tool when you're helping through the interview process to help these people come up with YouTube content ideas or whatever. Sometimes it doesn't automatically know to do that. So you have to like tell it to do that in the system prompt. And when in doubt, just add stuff to the system prompt. It doesn't need to be hard coded in. It already has access to all these like capabilities. You just have to tell it how to use the capabilities. And if you don't want to type it in, you can use the AI writer thing and say, hey, how do I get people to use the YouTube tool better? Enter, and then it'll rewrite the system instructions for you.
Go and ask it. I saw someone doing this the other day. Go and ask it what the top 3 YouTube videos by views are in your category. So put it in there, and then ask it to come up with 3 video or title hooks for you to record, because remember, it's got memory, so it knows who you are. Go and try that. It's kind of cool.
And it can create landing pages with opt-ins, and it saves the opt-ins in your account. You just click on your profile settings, click on leads, and you can see everybody that opted into your landing page. Just another little secret thing. And the page builder is another.
Lots of stuff that we haven't showed and demonstrated. So we'll get through the guest agents, and then over the next week we'll help. And if we need to get on again, help you tune those up and deploy them. Thank you. Looking forward to working with a couple of you in the society over the next couple of weeks. So someone's in my calendar already for Tuesday to map that out.
Who gets access to the shared agents? I just want to make sure they're turned on for the right tiers.
Just members.
Just solo S members in society.
Yeah.
Not test drivers.
Not test driver.
Okay.
I'll turn it on for test drive. Let people use it. Turn it on for test drive.
All right.
I didn't turn it on for test drive on Monday, so I turned it on for the others. Yeah.
It is on.
Prove what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. It's on. I really got to go now. Thank you, Dan, developer Dan. The not so famous, but famous to people who know in the know. And thank you all. Honestly, this is the really cool journey for me as well, because being able to I tried to do the white label. I tried to do the things over the years because I always was frustrated with the execution layer of this whole game of the doing bit of getting it out there. But so finally being able to do it and have a proper model around it as well, and watching our clients then replicate that in their marketplaces as they roll out their white labels is super cool. They're got a couple of people deploying their platforms into places that they haven't been able to access before, like corporate and kind of enterprise, where they're letting people use these tools that they had to sell kind of coaching and all these things before, and ways to do it. So it's
there's too much to keep track of with AI. Like every day there's some new innovation that we have to try to build towards.
But that's what I got you for. I just go, I want it to work like this, and it would be cool if, and then you go, I think it will do that. I've worked this out. And if it's not built in 24 hours, I'm like, What the fuck's going on, Dan?
James will joke. He's like, we want a full email marketing system built. Can you have it done by tomorrow? Winky face. And sometimes I'll be like, all right, challenge accepted. Let's see what we can do.
Just a final thing as well. Like, I've purposely stayed out of the model race, the AI is this and AI is that, because I'm at the pointy end of things. I know how things work in the real world and how I want things to work in my world and how they work for people, because I've had 6,000 clients. And so I stay in this is what the outcome needs to be. This is what the insight, this is what it needs to do. I don't give a fuck if it's Claude 4.5 or ChatGPT 2.10. It's kind of interesting on an intellectual level. So I stay in what does it do? What's the product? What's the model? What leverage does it give me? What leverage does it give people I care about? And can we have it tomorrow? And so staying out of that is very useful, but having a Dan is also the other secret.
That's what I was going to say. The meta for this is enabling your team with all these tools. Like a VA that knows how to use Claude Cowork is like invaluable right now. I think that the most in-demand job role over the next 3 years is going to be not AI engineers, because anyone can be an engineer now. It's like an AI operator, kind of like I don't even know what the role would be called,
commander.
But it's someone that understands the business model.
Agent commander or something.
An agent commander, yeah. Which could be a whole another business that we spin up to like certify that level of talent. But
well, look what's happening with some of our clients who are offering done for you services. They're essentially on their white label platforms, using the white label platform as this massive production engine. And rather than having kind of one VA serve, a few clients and kind of cobble it together, they're 5 or 10x their output in terms of their done for you. The done for you is still just as valuable, so they can charge the same amount of money. But now they've got one person running multiples of that, because they can, have a production engine inside. And we'll see these there's always been kind of one person freelance agencies that do great numbers. But, services and these things, if you have AI at the production layer and the execution layer and the speed, then some of the things that you can achieve in terms of leverage are just extraordinary, because you enable one person with essentially 5 or 10 skills that they were, semi good at, into being excellent at it and able to do it. It's not a linear speed up, it's an exponential one.
100%.
What a time to be alive. Cheers, folks.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Dan.
See you guys.
See ya.